This is WNHU, 88.7 FM, West Haven, Connecticut.
Here we are, yours truly, Rockin' Richard, right here on WNHU, as we're bringing you back with the classic sounds of the 1950s and the early 60s. And do we have a great show in store for you? All your favorites, but our special guest today is Mr. Art DeNicholas, who sang with the Catalinas and the Van Dykes. And believe it or not, he's still producing some material, so we'll be presenting that to you on the program. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, we're back again for part 2 of the Rockin' Richard radio show, and it's always a pleasure to be here and to play the oldies but goodies, and it's really a pleasure, as I've mentioned many times, to not only play the music, but also to go back in time and to rediscover the roots of rock and roll by having someone who was on the scene back then. And we'd like to welcome to the airwaves my good friend, Art DeNicholas. Nice to have you here, Art.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here, and it's a pleasure to come back and tell you about the history of New Haven, and I enjoy being here. So I think we got selections there for what, Give Me Your Love coming up?
Well, you know, there's so much music that you made, Artie, you know, and Give Me Your Love is a good example of the one. And this, by the way, I think we mentioned this. Somebody called up last week and was telling me that this record got so much airplay from George Tucker back in the old days, you know.
That is true. As a matter of fact, I used to hang out with George Tucker down at the WNH studios down lower level. And he was a really great guy, and he liked to help local artists. And he did. He played Give Me Your Love quite often. And actually, I started hanging out when I was young at Jukebox Saturday Night with Chuck Brinkman out in Hamden, Connecticut, when they were transferring from local station in New Haven out to Hamden. And Chuck was also an inspiration to the Catalinas. He helped us out a lot, gave us good airplay, took us on tour, did a lot of record hops with him. I started singing quite some time ago, before the Catalinas, sang with a group called the Hill Aces, a group called the Emeralds. The Hill Aces consisted of Tom Giuliano, myself, and Anthony Sperano, whose son, by the way, was the coach of the Miami Dolphins and who now is the back coach coordinator for the New York Jets.
Wow, man, you got good recall there, Art. I mean, you know, a lot of times people forget certain things, but you are digging deep. And this is a great one here, the Give Me Your Love sound. This was on the Little record label?
Yes, the Little record label. We were discovered on that label with, we sang out on Whitney Avenue at the Oaks Club. And at that variety show we sang at were the Regents, who sang Barbara Ann. A gentleman named Ursula Hickey had a #1 hit song on the Epic label, Bluebirds Over the Mountain. And when he heard us sing, he said, I have a coach and manager in New York City named Mike Corda. I want your telephone number, and I'll have him call you. And sure enough, about 4 weeks later, he called. We went into the studio with Ursula Hickey, with the early Catalinas. We actually used the telephone book to use a drum sound. And the song that we recorded, we never actually put out. But we went on to record on the Little record label, which is on the Columbia record label. It's a subsidiary. Also, the record was released about 2 years after that on the OK record label as a group known as the Buddies. Playing on that song is Joey D and the Starlighters, who, like 2 years later, had the #1 single called The Peppermint Twist.
Wow, this is amazing. Let's play that.
Give me a kiss to remember you by. Give me your heart, not just a song. Give me your hand by my side. Give me your love to remember you by. Give me your love that will always be true. Love me forever as I love you. Please be faithful through and through, and I'll never, never, never be blue. My love grows when you're near me. I wonder if you really care. I'll die if you ever leave me. So please, my darling, please be there. Give me your lips when you hold me tight. Love me, oh love me, all through the night. Give me a love that will always be true, and love me forever as I love you.
What a great sound, Artie. I mean, a beautiful, it's great that New Haven, Connecticut has some great talent, and that is one of the great sounds.
Yes, it is. In the Catalinas, I have to mention their names. Johnny Luth, who lives in West Haven and hangs out at the offshore on Saturday nights with Marty Ganter and Roger Koob as well. Then there's Tom Giuliano, who now lives out in East Haven, and Johnny Kunz, who passed away about 2 years ago. And Jim Conwell, who sang lead on that song, had just a great sounding Irish tenor voice, which I worked on him to convert into a soul sounding singer. And he passed away at a very early age. And when he left the group, it was hard to replace him. The Catalinas, we played everywhere, anytime, anywhere. Long Island, New York, New Jersey. We did a quick thing with Dick Clark. We did the Connecticut bandstand show with Jim Gallant, who was the brother-in-law of Alan Freed. We appeared on that show about 6 times, I believe, and wound up touring sometimes with the Five Satins. We did a little stunt with the Nutmegs. The Ballads we did shows with the Ballads, who recorded at Synchron Studios in West Haven. And it's imaginable to have a recording studio on Campbell Avenue. That's unheard of.
Right.
But today, the studios are much different. They're all digital. I started singing again. I lived on West and Adeline Street in New Haven. And down the street from me, one day I was walking home in the later evening after playing basketball, and I heard these guys singing what we call today as doo-wop. That group happened to be the Scarlets, and also Tot Forbes, Richard Freeman, Joe Bash, and they were practicing a song that later was released on Elm Records. I think you know what that song is.
Fountain of Love.
The Fountain of Love. I went and I listened through a window because they were in the basement of their home, and I knocked on the cellar door, and Tot let me in, and he let me sit on a chair, and I was listening to them sing, and they sound just like birds in the skies. And
you say they were practicing the Fountain of Love?
That's right. They were practicing the song.
You had a bird's eye view of sort of musical history being made right there. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Interesting story.
And again, the Catalinas were an assortment of guys who lived in the hill section of New Haven, Congress Avenue, Davenport, Elliott Street, and some guys lived on Star Street, which is Upper Dixwell Avenue. We all met in school. as the Catalinas, we used to sing on street corners. As a matter of fact, on Campbell Avenue, where they're building the highway, we used to park under the bridge so we can get the echo sound of a song.
Amazing.
Yeah, and we used to sing. We knew a repertoire of at least 30 to 40 songs. And when we hung around with George Tucker, at that time, the FM station for WNHC was not on the air anymore. It was off the air. And he used to let us use that studio to record some of the songs you're going to hear today. And that song, radio station, was sold and later became WPLR 99.1.
Amazing stuff.
It's an amazing story.
Yeah.
So I used to hang around with Joe Alderman, who ran Anchor with the Academics. And we sang all over. A group called, if you remember, the Sparkle Tones.
Okay.
Yeah, we did shows with them. And later on, we hooked up to a tour, and we toured most of Connecticut and New England.
Amazing information from my guest, Art DeNicholas here, of the Catalinas and the Van Dykes. What do you say we go back to the other side of the record?
Yes, on the other side is Castle of Love, and that song was done with Joey D and the Starlighters, and of course they had the #1 hit song, Peppermint Twist, and Mike Corder on bass. Mike Corder, I remember we went into audition for him, and you hear these stories about a guy sitting behind a desk with a cigar in his mouth. Well, that's exactly what happened. Gene Handy, Tom's brother-in-law, took us into New York in a Packard. Can you imagine 7 guys sitting in one car driving to the city to record? We were so nervous. It was just unbelievable. We didn't know if we were going to make it or not. So we went into his office, and there he was sitting. And we looked at him. We lined up in a line like some of those pictures you see of groups. And, I clicked my finger 3 times, and we started the song. We were so nervous. And there he was, just staring. He didn't say one word to us. He just listened. And when we sang Give Me Your Love, he did the same thing. And he said, I like the 2 songs. He said, let's record them. And boy,
wow,
we were up in the air.
That's amazing.
Yes, very good.
Do, do, do. Come to the castle of love.
Come to the castle of love. I pray to my knees to heaven above. Come to the castle of love, 'cause you're the only girl that I'm dreaming of. Please return to the castle of love. Come to the castle and you will see that this love was meant for you and me. So come around once more, for you're the only one I adore. In my dreams there's a castle of love built for you and me. So baby, there's a chance for a new romance. So return to the castle of love, love, love. Come to the castle and you will see that this love was meant for you and me. So come around once more, for you're the only one I adore. In my dreams there's a castle of love built for you and me. So baby, there's a chance for a new romance. So return to the castle of love, love, love. Come to the castle of love. I pray to my knees to heaven above.
Oh, yes, going back in time, the Castle of Love, my very special guest, Mr. Art DeNicholas of as we mentioned, the Van Dykes and the Catalinas. And Artie, it's so great. You mentioned something before, and you mentioned something about Alan Freed, the brother-in-law of Alan Freed was who?
Jim Gallant from, they had Connecticut Bandstand on Channel 6 at the time, which later became Channel 8 WNHC. Now today it's WTNH TV. And he was the brother-in-law of Alan Freed. And
I had no knowledge of that. I was amazed when you told me that, when you mentioned that.
yeah, and he was a good guy. We had to work a little bit to get him to play the record because he was getting inundated with other singles. But because we were from New Haven, the kids from Wilbercross High School and Hill House High School knew who the group was because we played in the area, demanded that he play the record. And so he actually had no choice, but he had to play it. And he played it almost every day. And he had us on, we were on the show at least six times.
Here's something for you, and I'll just throw this out to you.
Sure.
I've heard people say that the Connecticut Bandstand shows, that they were kinescoped, and some people claim that those kinescopes are alive and well somewhere.
Yes, there's a lot of people that were on the show that are still alive and well in the New Haven area. Most of the people that were on that show came from actually Wilbercross High School.
Yeah.
And they were all Italians.
No, but what I mean is, I'm talking about the kinescope, how they, in the old days, they didn't have video recorders, so they would have a film camera, take a picture of the tube. And when Connecticut Bandstand, they did that supposedly. And I've talked to a lot of people say, yes, they heard that this was true. And then a lot of people say, well, nothing's ever surfaced, But wouldn't it be great if they actually did that and we could see them? I don't know if you've ever seen a kinescope, It's not the greatest video, but still in all, you'd be able to see the acts and hear the acts and whatnot. So I thought maybe you heard something about that. But maybe if there's somebody out there that knows something about it, it would be great if that treasure trove of Connecticut Bandstand would ever surface,
It would make good reruns.
Oh, man, yeah, definitely, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking about, you were saying that it's mostly Italians?
Yes,
Okay,
very
good.
population
Lay
is
it on me.
Italians.
By the way, are you Italian?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, okay. I'm a friend of yours. I'm practically Italian. I ate 4 pounds of meatballs and spaghetti just the other day.
Yes, it looks like you put weight on, too.
Hey, thanks very much. I've been trying to improve my image,
Yes.
As a matter of fact, when I'm driving down the highway, and they have those weight scales on the side, I'm tempted to tune in there,
Yeah.
But no, it's great. So mostly Italians. You would just a lot of Italian singers from the area.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you're right.
Wow. Now here you are. You're the Catalinas, but what happened that you have a name change here?
Well, the Catalinas disbanded about 1961. I joined the military in 61 to 63, and I did the obvious thing. I was in the USO shows, and I toured with the bass singer of the Mellow Kings. They had the hit record out, Tonight. He didn't sing bass when we toured, but he sang baritone second tenors. And I toured throughout Europe for 2 years, which is an easy job when you're in the military. And then when I got out in 63, Tom Giuliano, for some reason, knew the day I was coming home because I had called from New York saying I'd be home. And he drew a banner on top of the house I lived in with guitar and guitar notes. And, when I got out of the taxi cab with my suitcase, I looked up and there he was standing, pointing to the flag that was up on my house. Right. And he said, we're going to start singing again. I said, okay. And that's how we started the Van Dykes.
Oh, man. And a super group they were. You had some really great records and the production. Who put these things together? I mean,
well, the rehearsals were at my house, and they were at Jerry Greenberg's house, all done in basement kind of things.
Just tell the folks about Jerry Greenberg a little bit for people that don't know.
In case you don't know who Jerry is, Jerry and I started the Green and Seat record label together. He went on to bigger and better things in the record business. He went on to work for Atlantic Records and brought such hits as the Rolling Stones to Atlantic, Led Zeppelin. He also broke records for When a Man Loves a Woman. He broke records for Aretha Franklin. The Young Rascals was all his. He listened to those songs and said, let's go with it. Jerry Weckler and Ahmet Ertegun loved the guy, and they pushed him right up the top. Today, he lives out in L.A. He lives in a beautiful home, has a beautiful family. His brother, Bob Greenberg, is right along with him. When they were promoting records, Bob was on the West Coast and Jerry was on the East Coast. And to this very day, Jerry's still involved in music, but somewhat in retirement.
Wow. I mean, we had a little phone conversation. You were over at his house.
Right.
And you were mentioning, you were dropping some names of the celebrities that were there. Who were they?
Carly Simon.
Wow.
Neil Diamond was there. They did an awards thing for Jerry, and he invited a lot of people. Even Mick Jagger was there. The lead guitarist from Led Zeppelin. There were just so many people there. I shook hands with Bette Midler, and Jerry introduced me as like if I was his brother to all these people. Wow. And I really enjoyed myself there.
Boy, I can only imagine. That must have been fun.
Yes, I believe I spoke to you on my cell phone from there.
Yeah, I think it was very early in the morning.
Yes, it was.
You told me, but it was nice to hear from you, and that was the first time we had done something on the air, so I'm glad we're doing the extended version of the interview today. Art DeNicholas, my very special guest, again and again, the Van Dykes. Artie, I was just telling you, man, that has a nice rhythm, a nice feel to it. That could have been a #1 hit across the country. It's so strange in this business. Mm-hmm. You could have a great product, and the chips fall in different directions, I guess. But
yeah, it is. It was a very good record. That record, along with Rockabye Girl, was #1 in New Haven for 6 weeks. On WAVZ and NHC, it was top 10 on PLR, DRC, and on all the smaller local stations. Back then, we were sort of in competition with Al Anderson and the Wild Weeds because Jerry was hooked up with that also. Him and Doc Cavalier from the recording studio out in Wallingford. But I think the fact that we made 3 #1 singles, it's unheard of. There's no other group in Connecticut or in New Haven, especially New Haven. Even though I know the Five Satins had a great hit song within the Still of the Night, but they never had 3 #1 records.
In the area, yeah. Well, that's something to be said about that.
Yeah, it's an accomplishment for the Van Dykes.
Yeah, you had a powerful sound there, there's no doubt about it. I'm looking here, you sent me a picture. 600 teenagers attend dance at Milford Center.
Yes, that's when we were the Catalinas. And in Milford, at the town hall, they used to have dances every Saturday night. And because the record was being played, Chuck Brinkman said they want to hire you to sing out at the town hall in Milford. Well, we drove in there with Chuck in his car, and we got there. There was 600 people. There was like 200 people outside the door, and another 300 inside. And from what they tell us, that there was over 600 people. That's another fact. That's unheard of. Back in then, 600 people today would be maybe 50,000 people.
Yeah. They have you listed in that article as the 5 Catalinas.
Yeah, that was kind of a misprint.
Okay. Yeah. And so let's continue on. Here's some more great music. We have one queued up here called Rich Girl. Is this a true life story? Or?
Yes, it is.
It is, okay.
Okay, I co-wrote that with Marty Markowitz, who used to play with Jerry Greenman and the Passengers. He wrote some songs for us, and him and I, he used to play the accordion. I went over to his house. He called me up one day and said, I wrote a song, but I need a little more lyric to it. Why don't you come over and help me out? So I went over there, and we sat in his bedroom and put the song together, Rich Girl. Marty was a kind of a guy who thought he lived in the poor side of town of New Haven, but he didn't. And he thought that the girls on the other side of town were rich, and that's how the song came out.
And there you have it, Rich Girl. And those are the Van Dykes, my special guest. If you're just tuning in, Artie is here with us today, and we're talking about the great old sounds of New Haven, Connecticut. And these are really, it's bringing it back to life again, just sitting here talking with you, you know, Art DeNicholas. And I have to say, on a lot of these tunes, the next one that we have queued up here is Rockabye Girl. And I got to ask you a little bit because, you know, in this recording, you hear like a sound, a certain sound, a thumping sound, and it just adds a whole dimension to the record, I think. What is that instrument or whatever?
Actually, it's not an instrument. What we did once the song was finished, it sounded somewhat empty, and Jerry and I said, well, we maybe could fill in some of the cycle in it. And he said, well, why don't we try what they call foot stomping? Foot stomping is when you put a piece of plywood on the floor and you just march the song and record what you're marching. And then you take that track itself and mix it in with the music. So it gives it mixes in with the drum, it gives the song a heavier sound.
Wow, that's amazing. You know, it does add a whole new dimension to it. You know, so you thought that it was who came up with that idea? It was Marty, you say?
No, with the foot stomping is what I came up with.
Oh, that was your idea.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now that's been a technique used by groups throughout the years, I guess.
Right. Four Seasons used it especially.
I'm thinking of the Solitaires also, Walking Along.
Yeah, Walking Along has got the foot stomping.
Could we do some foot stomping right now?
Yeah, we should.
Okay. Artie, please stop on your feet over there, man. I mean, you already recorded it, okay? Now we're having a little fun here. Art DeNicholas, my special guest, and good foot stomping sound right there, Rockabye Girl. And we're talking about the Catalinas and the Van Dykes. We're doing some Van Dykes material right now. And we have some other things coming up in a short while, some a cappella material. But another great record that you did, maybe you can tell me something about this, Artie, is Miracle After Miracle.
Well, Miracle After Miracle was a song that I did not write. It was written by two writers who worked for Atlantic Records. And it was actually a dual song, dual harmony as they call it. And Jerry Greenberg brought the disc to my house and said, I want you to listen to it, come up with an arrangement. I said, I think I can get you a deal with Atlantic Records because it's their material. And it wasn't long after that. The tracks were already made. The music was already done. It was just sort of like karaoke for us. And we went into the studio and took their voices off, and we added the Van Dyke voices to it with our arrangement of the song. That song there was going to lead to a recording contract with Atlantic Records, and the name of the group was going to be changed from the Van Dykes to the Shoreliners. I had set up a deal with Jerry Wexler and Ahmet Ergin to record the Van Dykes on the Atlantic label with a one-album deal, and a solo deal for Frankie to record him as an individual artist, because I thought Frankie was probably the best singer in the state.
Wow. Let's go back in time, folks, and reminisce just a little bit. Miracle After Miracle. All right, Miracle After Miracle. And Artie, I got to tell you, now, was that you on the high tenor you were telling me?
Yeah, in the middle part, yes.
Man, you were really banging it way up there, my friend.
Yeah, I had a girl's voice, but now I have a bass voice.
Yeah. Oh, man, no, really, you really sounded great on that.
Yeah, thank you.
And we're continuing on now. We have some other material here that you brought down, and this has never been released, you're telling me?
Yes, these are recordings that we done at my house. with the Catalinas. We went on tour back in 79 up through 87, I believe it was. Some of the cuts are from CBS FM with Don K. Reed. It's some of the songs are interviews, and some of them are mixed in with some of the songs we record, what they call basement recordings. And I believe the first one is Story Untold. We're going to shoot with that one.
We'll do it.
Okay.
And there you have it, the allegedly, as they call them, the basement tapes. You know what I mean? Sounds almost criminal right there. The basement, the secret basement tapes. You know what I mean, Artie?
Yes.
And of course, not all of these are the basement tapes. There's some cuts on here that you say was done with Don K. Reed show.
Yeah, we did a show because I know Joe McCoy, who was instrumental. He was on CBS Radio. I know him from way back in the days when he used to hang around with us at some of the shows we did. And I asked him if we can come on. He said, sure, why not? And so we did a live show with Don K. Reed.
The doo-wop shop with Don K. Reed.
All right, back in the doo-wop shop with the Catalinas, my special guests here live in Don K. Reed's doo-wop shop. But first, we want to hear a little Tell Me Why I think you guys are going to do next, right? Okay.
Tell me why the stars in the sky, they're the same kind of stars that I see in your eyes. I love you, yes I do. Oh, won't you tell me why? Tell me why my heart needs a beat every time that you're near, every time that we meet. I love you, yes I do. Oh, won't you tell me why?
Tell me why, oh tell me why.
Tell me why I love you so. You know my heart will never let you go. You know my love for you is on the square. When I wake up in the morning, I want you right there. Oh, why? Tell me why my heart skips a beat
time that you're near, every time that we meet. I love you, yes I do. Oh, won't you tell me why?
Tell me why. Why? Oh, tell me why.
Tell me why I love you so. You know my heart will never let you go. You know my love for you is on the square. When I wake up in the morning, I want you right there. Oh, why? Tell me why my heart skips a beat every time that you're near, every time that we meet. I love you, yes I do. Oh, won't you tell me why?
Tell me why. Yeah.
All right, there they go. The Catalina's here live in the doo-wop shop. I want to find out from the two original gentlemen how you guys started. Tom or Artie, whoever wants to take that. Was it with the Catalinas or before that you guys started vocalizing?
I think we had another group, a few guys that we met in the neighborhood, and we were practicing, like I said, in Artie's cellar. He had this record cutting machine, and we used to make little records on that,
and charge you guys to make them.
That's right. We
Entrepreneurship, right?
All right, there it is, the John K. Reed Show. And of course, since we've already talked about some of those things, but that had to be a great thrill for you to be on the Don K. Reed Show. I mean, the program that was #1 in its market, reaching all of New York and the tri-state area. The doo-wop fans are really tuned in.
They were. We received, he said he received so many phone calls while we were on the air, we couldn't even keep up with them. They broadcast, it goes all the way down to Florida. So we're getting phone calls from everywhere, and the phone calls were really good for us.
Now, how long ago was that you were on there?
That was back in the early 80s. We reformed the Catalinas and went back on tour.
Well, memories of days gone by, and sorry to say, Don K. Reed no longer on the show with the doo-wop shop. Very sad story there. I could never understand why they took him off the air.
Well, he has his own network now, his own radio network.
That's right, you were telling me that, yeah.
You could go on the network computer and pick up all his shows.
That's fantastic. Well, Artie, you're a guy that you're still doing things in the business now. I understand you're working with a young lady who plays the drums quite well.
Yeah, she's a genius and goes to Yale for teaching lessons. She's doing a little bit of jazz right now, and she's working with me, and I hope to take her very shortly into the studios and do a rendition of Topsy Part 2, and that would be her first release.
Wow, that'd be great. Cozy Cole's old tune,
right?
Topsy Part 2.
Yeah, and her name is Lindsay Arkop, and she's a junior at the Coggins High School in Durham, Connecticut, where I have hopes of building a music complex to provide information about the music industry, how to write songs, how to publish songs, how to start your own CD company. And the town right now is backing me up on it, so it may happen.
Well, can we feature a little bit of Lindsay, just to hear what she sounds like on the drums?
Yeah, let's give her a little riff on the drums.
All right, we got the wrong cut here. Yours truly, Rockin' Richard. Once again, I got to stop eating so many pizzas with pepperoni late at night. It causes me to do strange things. But here's the cut we want. And there she is already. That's a very talented individual. How old is she?
She just turned 16.
Oh, man. Some people have, I think, a genetic thing to be able to play like that at that age.
Yeah, she broke her foot during the summer of last year. So her parents went out and bought her a guitar, and she can play guitar now, very good. And she could also play the bass guitar as well. She just has an ear for music.
Yeah. Now, listen, when you do get that record done, Topsy Part 2, please send a copy as quickly as possible. You know, that was one of my all-time favorite instrumentals, Cozy Cole on the drums, and now something new.
Yeah.
And that's great. And is this going to be available to the public, do you think?
Yes, it will be. I just have to go over a few details with her family and to make sure we're doing the right thing for her.
And we're back again with the Catalinas, the Basement Tapes. And we have a cut here, Most of All. Is this actually from the basement now, or is this again from the Don K. Reed Show?
This is also, this is from the Don K. Reed Show.
Now let's squeeze in Most of All, all right, guys?
Do, 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 do.
Most of all, I want your warm embrace. No one can take your place. I need you most of all.
Do, 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 do.
Most of all, I want your sweet caress. Truly, I must confess, I need you most of all. When I sleep at night, I dream wonderful, wonderful dreams of you. And when I awake, no one's there, and that's why I'm so blue. Most of all, the one thing that I miss the way we used to kiss. I need you most of all. When I sleep at night, I dream wonderful, wonderful dreams of you. And when I awake, no one's there, and that's why I'm so blue. Most of all, the one thing that I miss the way we used to kiss. I need you most of all.
Most
All
of
right, I
all.
want to thank you gentlemen for being here tonight.
Thank you, Don, for
coming by.
It was a lot of fun.
It's been a pleasure to meet and hear
Thank
the
you, Don.
Catalinas
Thank
do
you,
their
Don.
thing.
I know. We got to throw Don off the air, too. You know.
He's here in the studio. He's just leaving his limo.
Take care, Don.
Bye,
What
Don.
a nice guy. But back again here with Art DeNicholas and Man oh Man, we covered a lot of territory.
We sure
I have
did.
to say, a lot of good memories that you brought up and information. And you've got something new in the works here. Tell the folks about it.
Yes, I've been reading a lot lately, some of the articles that are in the paper and also on TV. It's about how kids bully one another, and I thought it would be a good idea to write a little pop song about why the kids bully, and there's some important segments in that song. I'd like you to take a listen to it.
just like you. You're the one who's a stranger. You're the one in danger. Don't be a bully. Stop bullying me. Don't be a hero. Stop bullying me. Don't be a bully. Stop bullying me. Bullying is not for me. It's so sad, just so sad, that you wanna make people so damn mad, that it make you feel so blue. Their dreams will never come true. Don't be a bully. Stop bullying me. Don't be a hero. Stop bullying me. Don't be a bully. Stop bullying me. Bullying is not for me.
And now a heartbreaking case to bring to you tonight, and it is something a parent should never, ever have to see.
A mother found her 10-year-old daughter who had committed suicide, all because she was being bullied.
It's time for you to decide. Say no to bullying. Let's be friends. Friends don't bully friends. It's not cool in any school.
They have to pick on me.
Don't be a bully.
Stop!
All right, there it is. Don't be a bully. I tell you, man, it's a good message, Artie.
I'm in the process right now of having bullying T-shirts made with the stop sign, the red stop signs you see on street corners. And in graffiti, it says bullying. And we're also going to make baseball caps. So you may see these marketed very shortly in the area, in the Connecticut area.
And you were telling me, Art, that that's actually, it's getting on the charts over in England.
Right. It went from 200 down to 183 to 179, and it's bubbling under in the top 200 charts in the USA.
That's amazing. That is amazing, Art. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Bob Broach, who's from Georgia, who mixed it for me. He did a great job, and he's a very good contributor to this fact of what we're doing.
Bob Roach, if I might add, is a great guy. We've had some good conversations, emails, and he sends me all kinds of things through the email. Hello there, Bobby. The best to you, my good man.
I'd like to also mention some of the people that I've met in the past and at the offshore restaurant in West Haven, where we have doo-wop music, and some of the nice people that I've met there. I want to thank them for the encouragement on emails that I receive from them and also throughout the United States. My latest email was from France. A gentleman just bought the record by the Catalinas, and he paid a big price for it, like $300. And he sent me an email, and he said he thought that the record was so good in his collection.
That's amazing. Well, listen, my friend, we have about 30 seconds left to the break. You got a big event coming up?
Yes. I have the American Idol talent show that's taking place in Durham, Connecticut. It's a funny thing. I made the front page of the paper there in Middletown. I was very surprised when it did make it the front page. And yesterday we had our first auditions for the talent show. And we want to thank you for listening to the show today.
Artie, it's been a pleasure having you here on the program. We'll tell the folks when you get some more information about the talent show and everything.
Okay.
Thanks for being here.
I thank you for having me. You've been a long-time friend, and you've done so well for the music itself that we listened to today.
This is WNHU 88.7 FM, West Haven, Connecticut.